What is up, people of the multiverse? This is my Flash and Supergirl review for this week. The Flash was entitled, The People vs. Killer Frost, season 7, episode 8, sorry. And Supergirl was entitled, Prom Again, season 6, episode 6. Which of these episodes is better is Prom Again. Currently I think The Flash is the worst show DC show on right now, but I hope that can change, man. I don't think it's bad. I just think the rest are pretty good right now, but I am rambling, and let's roll that intro. This episode starts off with Kristen, I forgot her last name. Kristen is going into Argus, and she meets the weird dude from episode 4 that took away Abracadabra. And I don't know what's going on with him, but maybe that's just his personality. He's like robotic in some type of weird way. But they go to Argus, and they don't really say much more about it until later in the episode. But then we have Team Flash talking, and I'm sorry, I'm rolling up my sleeves. Cecile says that Caitlin could possibly get 18 months in prison if they hold her goods to the city against her bad. But if all comes to worst, she could get 25 to life or something like that. But then the Speed Force zooms in and goes, Barry, Strength Force, blah, blah, blah. And they go, because possibly Freza, and Freza is a real, she's a real threat, man. But then we have, but when they get there, it's just like some community center for Keystone. But then they have Cecile defending Caitlin, and Norvok is there in the background. And Norvok is a welcome touch. He's just a cameo. He like appears in every season for just one episode. He's just like a cameo character. But then we have this councilwoman, sorry. I'm so sorry. And Kristen defend against Frost, and they want to use the metahuman cure that Cisco made against Frost. And if that happens, if Frost is guilty, they could pass a new law to do that to every supervillain meta. And then Team Flash talks about it in the back, and Cisco's feeling really bad about himself because like he made that cure, he gave it to Star Labs and stuff. They can't, and it's really complicated. But then it's not really complicated. Barry and Nora talk in normal outfits. It's the Speed Force, but I'm gonna call her Nora now. And then they see the tent where the Strength Force is coming out of, and it's just a girl named Alexa. Speaking of Alexa, turn up all the way, play Mama Cry by Melly. Anyway, Caitlin goes into the CCPD since they have a different plan, and Caitlin distracts the police officers while Cisco takes out the cameras, and Allegra goes in and stuff, but she's caught by Kristen, and Allegra makes Kristen think that Allegra got an interview with her, but then Caitlin comes in at the last minute and sticks that on there, and the metahuman cures are all bad now. They're bad now. They're unusable, which is a win for Team Flash. But yeah, you see Cisco freaking out in the back. He's like, yeah. Also, Cisco and Tom Cavanaugh and Carlos Valdez are leaving the show, which is very sad, but I wish them the best. But then Barry talks to Alexa, and Alexa, we learn, has a bad past. She is a drug addict, and she's off of it now. She's just trying to make the world a better place by helping one person at a time or groups of people. And she's just trying to do the best she can and help all the people she can. And the Speed Force is like, that's bull. Tell us the truth. And the Speed Force is like, blah, blah, blah. Or some, and it kind of turns this Alexa away, and she, like, kicks them out of the tent or something. But then we have Cecile defending again, and, it's the trial of Killer Frost. So, then, here Joe, he delivers his testimony to the court, and, I don't know, I think when you have the police captain defending you, you should be pretty good, man. Like, the police captain is defending you. I bet that they're gonna take their word very good, but then, the council person, that's what they're called, stands up and says, that the vials have been, broken, have been stopped, and, right as the security cameras went out, they stopped and stuff. They got unusable, and Caitlin stands up and Caitlin confesses to it, but nobody believes her because they all think it's Frost because they have to blame somebody. And when they walk away, Kristen looks at Frost and goes, "It's for your own good." Oh my god, man. I hate Kristen so much, but then they regroup, and we get this scene between Caitlin and Frost, and basically Caitlin doesn't want to live without Frost. It's super nice, and because Frost is her sister, and Caitlin doesn't want to live without Frost. So Caitlin doesn't want her to go to prison or take the Medicare or anything. So it's a predicament. Well, Flash goes to talk to Alexandra. I don't know how she didn't realize Flash was Barry Allen, but Flash does the pump up talk and like, yeah, you can do this. And originally Alexandra didn't want to find out she was Frieza because she had a feeling she might be. But then we have Kristen. She's supposed to talk to Joe, but she actually talks to Frost, and I thought this ruined the episode, man. So you remember that Black Lives Matter comparison that Eric Wallace was talking about? This is it. It would be Joe's storyline. This is it. They're using a white woman for it, and yeah, Kristen basically just hates Frost because Kristen was in the military, right? So her platoon or something got hurt by a meta. So Kristen wants to get rid of metas. Caitlin didn't do anything. They have all these great people of color on their show. All these actors. I would have much rather seen a storyline where someone at the CCPD uses excessive force to kill a person of color. I want to see how Joe does with that as a black man. I want to see what he does to that officer. But no, they used it to a white woman and a bye-bye metahuman cure plot. They could have done so much better with that, but they didn't. Well, anyway, I'm sorry for that little rant. But adrenaline started when I was talking. Sorry. Alexandra goes into Star Labs, and Nora talks and apologizes. But then we have Kate Frost telling her part she's in the seat now talking, and Kate Frost says that she doesn't want to take the cure, so she's gonna do life in prison with no parole. And the judge thinks it over, and the judge says, "Okay, life in prison with no parole." But the judge had no jury, so I don't know how that works, but I think the Flash got something wrong. I'm sorry. Of course the Flash got something wrong. Have you ever listened to their science? But then, well, after Frost Frost's going to prison, but, Kristen goes to talk to Joe, and Joe basically tells Kristen that we have very polarizing views on Frost and the metahumans in the city. You need to watch which side you're on. Are you on the good side or the bad side? And stuff like that. I don't know if Kristen is returning. I hope not. I hope she gets killed. Uh, that's a little exaggeration, but then we have Caitlin. Caitlin comes home, and this was probably one of my favorite parts of the episode, even though I don't like what happened in this episode. This part where she looks at Frost's painting and they have the cool camera trick, which is beautiful. And then we flash back to Frost getting taken away. And Frost gets taken away, she's smiling, she did the right thing. And I have a feeling Frost is gonna be fine in prison based off what Norvox says. Norvox says, because of what you did for us, every meta thanks you. Like, Frost has the meta's respect, so Frost will be put in the metahuman wing of Iron Heights, I bet you. So she'll be fine. Except if she's with someone she put away. Ooh, maybe Chillblade and Frost cellmates. I don't know. But then Alexandra's in Star Labs and they activate her powers a little bit, but then slow it down. But before Alexandra can sit down, the Speed Force just goes full lightning. It goes full Palpatine on Alexandra. And Barry's like, no. And then, of course, he's like, no. And the Speed Force threatens Iris next. So Barry jumps and throws lightning at the Speed Force. But then, of course, the Speed Force, they catch it and throw the lightning bolt at Alexandra, presumably killing her. I mean, Alexandra could have redemption. Now we have this. I don't know. This was like, what? Even though we kind of saw it coming. Okay, Supergirl Review time. This episode starts off right where the last episode ended off with Brainy and Nia in that bubble. But Kara frees them, and they have a little fight with the aliens, and, it's just a little fight, but they go back to it. But anyway, throughout the fight, they see a drone, so Nia takes down the drone, and, it was Cat Grant's drone, the one she, bought from that little kid, and she's like, or something like that. I don't know, I'm sorry. But then the ship gets been, like, tracking or whatever, and, Team Supergirl goes back to the fortress, and, the barn, and Kenny and Brainy talk. Since Kenny did not die, I would not be opposed to, seeing him in the present timeline. I hope they bring Kenny in the present timeline. But, Kenny and Brainy talk, and I love their dynamic, man. I'm gonna say stuff at the end, so stick around. But, then Kara and Nia talk, and, Kara says that she hopes to be like Nia someday. I don't know. And that's really sweet, man. But anyway, Nia, she gets another dream, even though they put the bad guys away, and it's of the cage with the Pink Panther, and the cage is empty now. So ooh, we learned by the end. It's pretty cool. I didn't catch it though, but Alex is dropping Kara off, and Alex says that it's a masked prom thing. So, they're supposed to wear masks. Like, around their face. It's 2009. But, around, like, their eyes. But, Alex says that Kara wears masks every day, so she shouldn't have to right now. And it was sweet. But then they have a meteor shower and everything. And, Alex is gonna go take some pictures like 2020, Alex said in episode 5. But then, Kara and Brainy get ready for prom, and Nicole Menez, if that's her last name, looks super attractive this episode. I'm sorry. I just had to point that out. And Brainy, he can see by his expression, he thinks so too. And they dance, and, throughout this dance, I realized something. Look at Brainy, Jesse Rath. I would not be opposed to him playing Batman. Look how he wears that mask. If they put like the Robert Pattinson mask on him, I would not be opposed to him playing a Batman someday. But then we have Cat Grant, and she is going back to investigate the spot, and she throws rocks at the ship because she's trying to look for it. It's gone, and she goes in the ship. The ship gets out of stealth mode, and she frees the aliens, man, and gets herself kidnapped in the process. But yeah, Kara is at prom, and she has to go find Kenny, so she does. And as she found Kenny, a meteorite, like a fire one, is on its way, so Kara has to go stop it, which she does, and this is what they were talking about. And I don't know, this was the episode kind of moving fast, but she does, and you see all this kryptonite explode, all this debris, and Kara, she falls through the gym, and her hand is like all cut, and she's experiencing kryptonite for the first time, as they said. But Brainy and Nia are watching this, so they gotta go they follow Kara into the gym, and Kenny goes down the stairs, which this is important later after they come back from traveling time. But yeah, Kara is passed out in the gym, and they wake her up only in time for the aliens who has been released for Cat Grant. They're looking for a Kryptonian, and they know they're in the high school, so they search with these yellow beams, and Brainy almost gets hit, which would have been like, oh, the balloon is in there, or something like that, I don't know. But to save his girlfriend, Kenny admits to being the Kryptonian, which obviously he is not. He's just Kenny. But Kenny gets taken up, and everybody's like, what? No! And Kara would have been too weak. They would have actually taken her if that happened. But on the alien ship, they interrogate Kenny, and they find out he's just a human. And yeah, I don't know what Kenny was thinking, but he did something good though. But back on Earth, back in high school, Kara wakes up, and they take her to a room, and then since the aliens find out, they do something that only aliens can hear on Earth, and they send a message. I don't know if Superman was on Argo or something, but Superman should have been able to hear that. Superman should have been in this episode, I'm sorry. But Kenny gets thrown in the cell, and he talks to Cat Grant, and he has no idea who Cat Grant is. Well, it's CJ Grant here, but yeah, Cat really was good in this episode. She screwed a lot of things up, but she really helped some people. Well, anyway, when this happens, they were locked in. Bernie and Nia left, and Kara and Alex are locked in, and Alex picks the lock so that Kara can go get some moonlight or sunlight to heal and become regular. So Alex does that, and she picks the lock, showing that she could be with the DO already. I need to rewatch the show. Just like Black Lightning, man, but Nia gets another vision on the way to check on the spaceship, and in this vision, the cage is empty, but the Pink Panther is there, so she catches it with the dream energy, and this is interesting. The cage says PW, Perry White, apparently, and it's to symbolize that Cat Grant is the Pink Panther, the Pink Cougar, or whatever, and Perry White is keeping her in a cage, and she has to be freed. So when Nia Nia takes the panther out of her dream, and she takes it out, and they're gonna attack the bad guys. The panther, it's Cat Grant being freed to start Catco. So yeah, and then they get trapped. They go in the ship and they get trapped. Kara saves them, and they're about to leave, and Cat Grant leaves first, which was a rookie mistake because Cat called the cops when she was in there. We don't know that, but she did, obviously, and they're all talking, but as they talk, the Midvale police come in and ask them to come out with their hands up. So Brainy and Nia aren't gonna because they're from 2020. It's 2009. But Kara and Kenny come out of the ship, and Kenny calls Kara. So it screws up the timeline because now Cat Grant knows Kara's name and says Kira, as she always did when she was talking in season 1. But now the events of season 1 probably never happened just because that one name. But Nia has the idea, since this all got screwed up, since they came here in a time machine, why don't they time travel like 4 hours back, right when they were to the beginning of the episode when they were fighting the aliens, and Cat Grant had the drone. They just got to destroy the drone, and nothing bad will ever happen. But Kara was overhearing this, and Alex runs in. But as Alex runs in, Kara says sorry, and she flies away and goes to where Nia and Brainy's ship is. And when they go back 4 hours, Kara reveals that she stayed on the ship, and she just wanted to help. But when they go into the woods to go destroy the drone secretly, they run into Kenny and Alex. But they have to, Nia and Brainy, they have to play it off because obviously they're in their prom gear because they time traveled, and they played off kind of well. But then Nia destroys the drone, but as Cat Grant comes to look for it, Nia and Cat Grant talk, and Nia inspires Cat to go by the name Cat Grant and free herself from Perry White. But then they go back to the ship, and Kara thanks them. It's like, that was awesome. And Kara's like, when I was being arrested, I saw how my future went, and I didn't want that. So, yeah. But then we cut to Cat Grant drinking at the bar again. And yes, the bartender appears again. Do you remember when we all thought this dude was gonna be Kara and Monel's son? But that was funny, man. But Kara calls. No, Cat Grant gets a call from Perry White, where Cat is very Cat Grant here, close to Flockhart, and Cat quits the Daily Planet, and on the the paper rags, the napkin that she had, she writes Catco on it. So you know where that's going. But eventually, and the same stuff happens again with the meteorite and everything. But this time when Kenny goes down the stairs, 2 meteorites crash through the stairwell. 2, and Kenny dodges both of them. I don't know how that happened, but somebody, I don't know, is the world trying to get Kevin to die again since he didn't die from Crisis? I don't know. But then this time, Brainy and Nia aren't there, so Kara and Kenny talk, and they talk about Kara tells Kenny that she got accepted in National City University, and they break up. And this was a pretty good scene. It was too long, though. It's too long. I almost fell asleep now. It felt like I was gonna. But then Brainy and Nia were overhearing just to make sure the timeline goes right, and they got the kryptonite with Kara's blood on it. So next episode we're gonna free Kara from the Phantom Zone, and everything will be set right. But then we cut to Nia and Brainy in the ship, and in the ship they have a conversation that was also very long. And Jesse Rath is a really good actor, along with Nicole Manez. Manez, yeah. And by the end of this talk, they kiss. To put it politely. But then they time travel and everything goes back to the way it should be. Or I think there will be some ramifications for their time traveling. Something has to go wrong, because in the original timeline, no meteors came through the stairwell where Kenny was. And speaking about Kenny, I love this character. I would like to see more of him. So what if, hear me out, timeline changes, and I wish they should have done this during Crisis. They brought Kenny back, obviously, but they should have forgotten all the Mon-El, whatever the weird relationship they were trying to do with Jimmy Olsen and Kara, all the weird relationships they tried to do with Kara. Just keep it with Kenny the entire show. It's the final season, and we all feel like she's gonna go with Mon-El, but I feel like that's too predictable. But anyway, that was my review for those 2 episodes. If you like them, like the video, go down in the description, follow our socials, blah blah. Goodbye. I'm running out of time, and stay safe.